Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ronald de Boer has urged Donny van de Beek to leave Manchester United in this January transfer window so he has a better chance of playing in the Euros. Now Donny van de Beek has been told to hold talks with the Man United board to clarify his role at the club. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he will have to wait for his chance at Manchester United, but Solskjaer insists that Donny van de Beek has a bright future at Manchester United and tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at Manchester United. Now, Donny van de Beek seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only made 2 starts in the Premier League, and that was against West Ham and Southampton, so most of his appearances have come off the bench. Donny van de Beek came on with like 3 minutes to go against Manchester City recently in the EFL Cup semi-final, and reflecting on that, a lot of Man United fans were infuriated. Now obviously we got him in a deal worth £40 million. We paid 35 million up front and there was 5 million in add-ons. And he was actually advised to pack his bags if he didn't play against Manchester City. He can play in like 3 different roles. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder. That was his predominant position when he was at Ajax. You can put him in the number 10 and you can also put him out wide. Now I think it was towards the end of last year, Corriere dello Sport, which is an Italian newspaper, they said that Inter Milan are interested in getting Donny van de Beek on loan, and he said a swap deal could be involved with Christian Eriksen. Man United have been tentatively linked with Christian Eriksen. So that's the breaking news on that. Now, Man United are not expected to make any significant signings in this January transfer window, aside Moises Caicedo. Like I said to you yesterday, Solskjaer has been let down in the transfer window again. This transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And Ed Woodward has already said that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because Solskjaer does deserve more backing at the football club. Now, last summer, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough by the board, and quite a few times he showed his frustration towards the board, because we missed out on all of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority targets. But the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson left, so that's one of the main reasons the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, so he's been at Man United now over 8 years. And the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. I'm actually not sure what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer budget is for this January transfer window. But a few times towards the end of last year, he said that we're not expecting a busy January transfer window, and Woodward come out and said that we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. Now, like I've said to you, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Now, obviously, you know the news on Moises Caicedo. You already know the news on Amad Diallo Traore. His move to Man United was official yesterday. Got him in a deal worth £37 million. We're paying 19 million up front. And there's like 18 million in add-ons, and Dilo Traore signed a 4.5-year deal with Man United. That takes him under contract with the club until the end of June 2025, but there is an option of a further year. We did sign a Dilo Traore back in October of last year. I don't know if he's going to get straight into the first team. I actually think he'll go into the under-23s, then he'll work his way up to the first team. But Solskjaer is excited about, having Amad Dilo Traore at the football club. Now, Jadon Sancho, I think if he is to leave Borussia Dortmund, it will be in the summer. I'm very, very sceptical that he will leave in this January transfer window. Fabrizio Romano recently said that Sancho will leave in the summer. Now, it recently says that Liverpool are backing for him and reportedly prefers a move to Liverpool. Chelsea have recently been backing for him. Now, last summer, Jadon Sancho was our number one priority target. Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. But I think this year we believe we can get him for less than £100 million. But he did say a few times during the summer that the personal terms had been agreed and the agent fees had been agreed and even a contract had been agreed, but we just couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee, so that was the stumbling block. And I think Sancho said a few times during the summer that he wanted to come to Man United. Now, the Borussia Dortmund CEO recently said that Sancho struggled at Dortmund this season because he expected to join Man United last summer. Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. And we obviously missed out on that deadline. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Borussia Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre. This is Sancho's 4th season at Dortmund. He has been inconsistent this season, like I said, but analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he has been very, very consistent. I think he's got a contract with Dortmund. Is it till 2022 or 2023? And they only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He had a couple of years at Man City, but the main explanation he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. And before City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Now, Erling Haaland, he's obviously been another player on our agenda. I said it was a shame that we missed out on Erling Haaland in January last year because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Solskjaer knows the player really, really well because Solskjaer was the one that gave Haaland his debut at just the age of 16 at Molde. And in December 2019, Solskjaer and Woodward went to meet up with Haaland in Norway to discuss a possible move to Man United. But anyway, Dortmund got him instead. Dortmund paid just £17 million for him. And he has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024. Now, I said it's unlikely we'll sign Haaland this year, but he's expected to leave next year when his £68 million release clause does become active. Erling Haaland's agent Mino Raiola does have a poor relationship with Man United, so reflect on that. His move to Man United could be complicated. Max Aarons, now it said towards the end of last year that he was on our agenda. He says, he could be available for £20 million, but, we may have to wait until the summer to get him. Max Aarons is a right back who plays for Norwich. The news as well on Jack Grealish. I think if we do sign Jack Grealish, it will be this summer. I don't see us signing him in this January transfer window. Now, Villa want at least £90 million for Grealish. But I think we'll only sign Grealish anyway if we do sell Paul Pogba. Now, don't forget, after our 2-1 win against Villa not so long ago, Solskjaer spoke to Jack Grealish. And reflecting on that, some of our fans were speculating that Grealish could make a move to Man United. Last summer we was in for him, but Villa's valuation was £80 million and that put us off. And we also had element of concerns about where he would fit in the team. Back in September, Grealish signed a 5-year contract with Villa. Most of the time now he does play on that left-hand side. But Solskjaer has said, we need to make a few more signings if we are to be title contenders. We are certainly in the title race because we are joint top of the Premier League table at the moment, and if we do beat Burnley in our game in hand, then we will go 3 points clear at the top. Don't forget we was supposed to be playing Burnley at the start of the season, but it got postponed. And if we do beat Liverpool after Burnley, we'll be 6 points clear at the top. But Solskjaer did say, didn't he, after our 1-0 win against Wolves, that we're not in the title races yet. And he said, if we are challenging at the top come March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. Solskjaer has said we need to improve to challenge for the title. And like I've said, I'm very sceptical we'll win it this season, but I can assure we will win another title at some point, maybe next season or the season after. If we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013 and our 21st title overall. But like I mentioned to you yesterday, we cannot beat the big teams under Solskjaer. And that's been proven this season. We haven't beaten Tottenham, lost 6-1 to them. We haven't beaten City, drew with them and lost to them in the Cup. We haven't beaten Chelsea, drew with them. Haven't beaten Arsenal, lost to them 1-0. Obviously, we've still got to go to the Emirates. We've got to go to Anfield. We've got to go to Stamford Bridge. We've got to go away to Tottenham. We've got to go home to Leicester. So hopefully we can start winning big games. We did beat a few big teams last season, didn't we? We obviously beat Man City 3 times and we beat Chelsea 3 times and, beat Tottenham once. You know what I mean? But Solskjaer is not under pressure at Man United at the moment. He's not going to be under pressure after one defeat because going into that City game, we was in a good vein of form because don't forget we are unbeaten in our last 10 league games. But if we are to be winless in our next 3, 4, 5 matches, then I think the pressure will be back on him. It was disappointing to lose to Man City in the EFL Cup semi-final because the EFL Cup was obviously a chance of us winning a trophy. Solskjaer gave his perception after that game. And he was honest, he said Man United weren't good enough. He says we're getting closer, but he did make an admission saying that Manchester City are the best team in England. Double check. And Solskjaer did actually say prior to the game that there's no excuses if we lose another semi-final. That's 4 semi-final defeats now in a row under Solskjaer because we lost 3 semi-finals last season. City have reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final and it's 2nd season in a row they've beat us in the semi-final. I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will still be Manchester United manager at the end of this season. he probably will be given another season at the club, and if he is, that will be his third full season at Manchester United. This is his second full season at the moment, and I always said this season was going to be big for him. But I've already said to you what would represent a good season for Man United, and that would be to finish in the top 4, the top 3, and win a trophy. And that would give us something to build on. It would be absolutely remarkable if we did win the Premier League. There's 3 trophies we can pursue. You know, we can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. Real Sociedad is going to be a tough game now in February, because Real Sociedad have been doing very, very well in the La Liga. Like I said to you on my recent video, Solskjaer has learnt quite a bit at Man United. He has gained some managerial experience, reflecting now on his been at the football club. Solskjaer's been Man United manager now for just over 2 years. He's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions, and he's got a contract with the club until 2022. We appointed him in December 2018, Solskjaer, to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give him the job permanently, reflects on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does deserve credit though. You know, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. He's got us joint top of the Premier League table. He did well last season, his first full season, because he got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us 3rd. I also like the way he has promoted the youth, because he has been giving the young players their opportunities, and he's brought more young players into the club, and he has made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million. You know, he's obviously let a lot of players go as well since he got recommended in. But I've got to say, he has done well to say he's not a manager at the top level. You know, if he is given the time that he's demanding, can he emulate into a top level manager? Because let's be honest, Solskjaer hasn't got that proven pedigree, has he? You know, he's hardly won anything. You know, he won a couple of Norwegian titles at Molde, but, you know, Molde are a big club, and at Cardiff his record was disastrous. But, you know, there's some Man United fans that are Ole in, because reflecting how good we've been in the league and that recently, you know, some of our fans' perceptions have slowly started to change on Solskjaer, like I said. But there's still some Man United fans that are Ole out. You know, there's still a lot of United fans that believe he's way out of his depth at the club. Like I've said to you time and time again, his decision-making concerns me, because he does make mistakes in a lot of games, and that has obviously cost us. And now, like in the City game recently, you can say Solskjaer was naive. You know, maybe Bay should have started against City, didn't play any part. Eric Bay's been very, very good recently. I prefer him ahead of Lindelof. My only element of concern about Bay is that he's injury prone. Maybe Matic should have started instead of McTominay. Maybe Donny van der Beek should have started. Some United fans will say that we should have started David De Gea instead of Dean Henderson, because it was a semi-final, but, you know, Dean Henderson, you know, most of the time plays in the Carabao Cup. So there you go. But we have been very, very good away from home this season in the Premier League. You know, we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League this season. We haven't been so good at home though, but we have started to win more games at home in the league recently. We've won 4 games now at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. We was enjoying our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. But, you know, when we have been inconsistent, and we've had quite a few periods where we've been inconsistent, you know, not all the blame stemmed from Solskjaer anyway. You know, obviously there's certain players that have also got to take responsibility. Now, like I've said to you time and time again, you know, when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood at the club. You know, he's still inheriting some deadwood now. You know, the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. You know, there's only a couple of players here now from the Louis van Gaal era. There's only one player here from the Moyes era. And there's only 2 players here now, I think, from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Solskjaer knew when he taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job. Because we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know what I mean? But like I've said, whether it works out under Solskjaer or not, I still always adore him. You know, he's a legend at the club at the end of the day. And I think with him being a legend of the club, that's saved his job, you can say. Because our board have a soft stance on him. Now, disregarding him being a club legend, our board would be more ruthless on Solskjaer, without a doubt. You can say Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked after the 6-1 loss to Tottenham. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after us getting him eliminated from the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. By the way, Solskjaer recently held talks with 6 players he wants to get rid of in this January transfer window. Now, the players we're obviously looking to get rid of is Jesse Lingard. I recently give you the news on Jesse Lingard. He said that West Ham have been in negotiations with his agent. It said towards the end of last year that Real Sociedad were talking with his agent. It said Sheffield, Villa, Rangers and Celtic have also been interested. Jesse Lingard lost his place in the team a while ago now. But when he was playing regularly, you know, there was a period where he didn't score 1 goal or provide 1 assist in the Premier League for over a year. I think his last goal for us was a 2-0 win against Leicester on the final day of last season. He's into the final 6 months of his current contract. I think Sky Sports said not so long ago that we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. So that means he's under contract with Man United until the summer of 2022. Odion Ighalo, I'm expecting him to leave Man United in this January transfer window. I think his loan expires at the end of this month. We got Odion Ighalo in January last year on deadline day. The main explanation why we brought him in was to get a cover up for Rashford. Because at the time Rashford was out with a back injury. Odion Ighalo, we got him on loan. He don't play now a lot, but to his credit last season, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup. Marcus Rojo, I think he's another player we'll get rid of because Marcus Rojo has never really established himself as a first team regular since he came in. We got Rojo in 2014. We got him for just over £16 million from Sporting Lisbon. So he's been at the club now, is it a good 6 years or so? Or 6.5 years. Last season, don't forget, he was out on loan with Estudiantes. I'm also expecting us to get rid of Sergio Romero. I think he's already said his goodbyes to Man United, by the way. Sergio Romero is now our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Phil Jones, I'm also expecting us to offload him. Phil Jones has been very, very inconsistent at Man United. This is Phil Jones' 10th season at the football club. You know, he has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think he's still out with injury at the moment. Daniel James, I think he could go out on loan because he's actually lost his place in the team. And Brandon Williams, I think he's going to be going out on loan. Now, Shields Gazette recently said that Newcastle have agreed a deal in principle to get Brandon Williams on loan. I think it's a 6-month loan, but it also says that Southampton want him on loan. Williams is our 3rd choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Seldom plays now, but last season played quite a lot of games, but that was only because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. And I'm expecting more players to leave Man United in the summer. Mata could leave in the summer. Matic, could he possibly leave in the summer? Paul Pogba, he could leave Man United in the summer. don't forget Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Now he's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Don't forget Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United, and swap deals have been high on the agenda. Juventus recently offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a deal for Pogba. We rejected it. They offered us Douglas Costa as part of a deal for Pogba. We also rejected that. But it did mention that we are interested in an exchange deal for Paul Pogba. He did mention that Juventus are only willing to pay £50 million for him. Real Madrid have also been relentlessly linked with him. PSG, I think, have recently reignited their interest, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. I'm very sceptical Pogba will leave in this January transfer window. But Fabrizio Romano said towards the end of last year, Paul Pogba will 100% leave Man United in the summer. I think it actually said we will sell Paul Pogba because we accept he will not sign a new long-term contract. What?
Charlie, have you seen who's died?
Go on, who?
Phyllis.
What's she?
Phyllis from Ramsey Road.
What's she?
Phyllis Gromack.
Yeah.
She died on Christmas Eve. She was 83.
What's she?
Yeah, bloody Phyllis.
Yeah, like I said, he will not sign a new long-term contract. Paul Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, don't forget, told 2OSport last month that Paul Pogba's career at Man United is over. He's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intention of signing a new contract. Then, obviously, slightly changed his statement, and Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. Earlier on this season, we did trigger that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. But to Paul Pogba's credit, he has done well in a lot of his games since he come back from that ankle injury. He is our most expensive sign at the moment because we got him for 89 million, or was it just over 89 million pounds? This is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. He's made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. He's won 3 trophies at the club. That was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. And we had him when he was a lot younger, but we had to let him go under Ferguson due to limited appearances. So, there you go. Like I've said to you, there is good players at Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, he's obviously a very good player. Cavani's a good player. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. Mason Greenwood's a good player. He hasn't been playing a lot though recently. Martial's done well in a lot of his games recently. Still had some bad games, and he was poor earlier on in the season because he wasn't being clinical enough. Bruno Fernandes, he's also an exceptional player. He's the best player we've got, and he's certainly the best signing we've made since Ferguson left. Van der Beek's good when he plays. Fred, I think he's enjoyed good games this season. Like I said, Paul Pogba's done well in a lot of his games since he came back. Luke Shaw's a good left back. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. Alex Telles, I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. There again, he's had a couple of bad games. Harry Maguire, I've been really, really impressed with him as well. Good to see him bounce back from his early season troubles. Eric Bailly's done well since he's come back. And Wan-Bissaka, he's done well in games this season, but we've got concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. And De Gea, he's getting back to his best. This is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. He's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. So, he has been a long servant. And I think Dean Henson's done well in the games he's played in this season. Dean Henson recently made his full Old Trafford career debut against Man City. And I said to you at some point, Dean Henderson will become our number 1. By the way, Facundo Pellistri's tested positive for COVID-19. I think some FA Cup games have been called off due to the coronavirus. So, yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.